How?
Micah. The recording setting is all like messed up because it takes the highest value and then it tries to do averaging and then it's like right off the bat we're just gonna gunshot it.
Sorry, your count was way too good. I was just on point.
Okay, well,
Are we sure it's gonna be fucked?
well, I'm pretty sure it's gonna be fucked, but it's gonna be fucked regardless.
No, it's your topic, so I guess it's up to you if you feel like this.
It's definitely gonna be fucked.
Okay.
Hi, welcome to Isn't It Obvious. I'm your host today. Joining me is Sera and Micah. And hi, Micah. Isn't it obvious that when people ask you a question, that there's a really good chance that they want you to ask them that question? And I'll give you an example.
You don't have to.
Okay, well, Micah, since the listeners can hear you so clearly, I will just reiterate that for no particular reason. Every time I would talk to like coworkers and they would say something like, "Hey, so what are you doing this weekend?" Or, "Hey, do you have any vacation plans?" Or, "Hey, what are you doing for the Christmas break?" I would just say, nothing, and then I would just be like one of those cold fish that just never really like keeps the conversation going because I'm awkward at work.
But is it merely those type of...
I'm gonna murder you, Mr. Whispers over here. I definitely told him not to scream or yell
He's complying
earlier,
maliciously.
and now he's malicious compliance. Mm-hmm. Yes, that's exactly what he's doing.
It's not malicious compliance.
It is anyway, but hey, it makes it really easy to talk over him. So
I'll still get through.
Okay, well, it's probably.
But like those type of small talk. I'm going to ask you A, you respond with A, and then I will say B, and then you respond with B. And then we will either have C or go to Z and say goodbye.
Mm-hmm.
But is it like particular questions?
Yeah, I think questions that
like, hey, Phil, you ever thought about getting a vasectomy?
And then I would say, Micah, have you ever thought about getting the
vasectomy?
The snips?
I would respond, no, Phil, I am going with the medieval proper castration. Just to make sure that there will be no way that my tubes will become unspun.
That's true. It happened.
So let me tell you,
Just put a rubber band around them.
Yeah, that's what they did in the...
That sounds awful. Anyway.
That's what they do with sheep, but
yeah.
I won't be able to get it tight enough or else it's just way too exciting.
Well, also, you have to pay extra for that.
What?
Sorry. No, I come to the conclusion when I was at like small talks or even other people that, hey, what's going on? I haven't seen them in a while. Like, this usually happens at kids' birthday parties where I don't get to see the parents as often, but we're still wanting to hang out, but don't because life is busy. But then I see them and then they would say something like, hey, so how is it going with you at work? Which is a very innocuous question because, I like to complain about work a lot. Mm-hmm. And then I complain about work a lot and then I stop. And then that's it because... So a part of my brain never realized that, like, oh, shoot, I'm supposed to ask them about their work because then they just start talking about their work.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh.
You have to definitely dialogue ninjutsu that into a way of, like, not a whole lot planned. You.
That's right.
And that's all you have to do is eyebrows raised, little upper inflection towards the question mark, and then you just turn off your brain because they will not stop talking.
Yeah.
Because that's all they want to do.
Micah knows who I am, and I will not stop talking. And then Micah just turns off his brain and thinks, like, God damn it, why did I tell Philip to continue to talk? And I have to edit this episode, and I'm going to be like, future Philip is like, God damn it, why am I talking right now? It's
Philip,
all pointless.
Is that really how you think you're going to be talking to yourself in the future?
Well, future
Always.
Philip, fuck off. Okay, sorry. Damn it, Micah, you turned off your brain.
You should be so much nicer to your future self.
My future self is an asshole.
Probably true.
Yeah.
But not as much as an asshole as you are today.
So...
And not as much as past self. That guy's a dick.
Mm-hmm.
So I think... I don't know if it's always true. I'll ask people, like, what's going on in their life or, like, what they're doing this weekend. Because I generally want to know. And also because my life is boring. A lot, and I usually don't have weekend plans. Well, at least I usually don't. Sometimes I do. Actually, now I feel like I have only weekend plans. Anyway, cries.
To our listeners, we're recording this on Wednesday night.
Not true, but
But not on a weekend, though.
No,
Well,
technically, but it might bleed into it.
Yeah.
But
No, you had today off. It was fine.
it's true. This was kind of our Saturday.
No, this
Friday,
was...
Friday, Saturday. Saturday, Friday. Anyway, doesn't matter.
This was our just long bender because we had most of the day to do absolutely nothing.
Not
That's
me.
all. But
I
still
did
on
yard work
Saturdays.
and cleaned my gutters and
God,
got
sure.
shit done. I
Oh.
killed so many box elder bugs, you guys. So many.
Are you supposed to
Mulched.
kill them?
Yes.
Okay.
You do understand the hive is at work, though. We are the epicenter of this current infestation.
Anyway,
That's true.
so
That tracks.
what's true is I
Eat
generally
all our
want
garbage and they just live.
to know when I ask people like, oh, so what are you doing this weekend? And I really don't care if they ask me what I'm doing this weekend because all I'll have to say to them is like, not much, probably just sleeping in or hanging out with my cats, which is super boring and that's where it stops. So sometimes it's not the case. Sometimes I really don't want to talk about my life. I'd rather just it's more of I want to get to know you because you're my coworker and I just want to see what's going on and build our coworker relationship or whatever a little bit.
Hear that, Cindy? Be nice on Monday.
There's no one that's named Cindy that listens to this. It's only Uzbek.
It's true. Unless Uzbek's got a middle name.
Cindy. Sorry, Micah. I didn't mean to.
It's Siddhartha, but yeah, he goes by Cindy.
Okay, sorry. Continue, Sarah, please.
Well, anyway, and I guess like I'll ask about like, oh well, how's your dog doing and all, like, and it's almost like if you build those relationships, like there is definitely an ulterior motive here. Don't think there isn't one. It's more to like
Sarah's just trying
build
to find
a-
out their passwords of like put in the first name of your first
Oh
dog.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that's right.
No.
What are
So
your-
it's all about just resetting stuff.
yeah.
God, you guys
So
are on
what
to me.
was your mother's maiden name again?
Really?
I knew it. I knew it.
What city were you born? Sorry.
I don't know. It's just a lot easier to
What was
work
the
with
closest
people
highway?
who like think you're genuinely like interested in who they are. It's just easier. Like they're gonna give you more grace if you make a fuck up or something. Like it's kind of like you're building a rapport. So like I don't know. Like maybe that's like a very reptilian way to think about it. But like it's these people I work with every day, right? Like I'm gonna see them every day. It's probably best in the long run if we have a decent relationship. And like just very casual, like not a like a we're best friends or anything, because like we're not best friends. Ugh, cries. Anyway, heartbroken.
You guys are best friends forever. That's why,
Forever,
yeah.
but like
Sorry.
so it's good to be on good terms with your coworkers. It is. It's good. I think it's good because yeah, you do have to interact with them every day, and unless there's that one asshole who's just a total like worthless piece of garbage. Stop raising your hands. I'm not talking about you guys. I'm specifically thinking about one person in our office who just... Anyway, it doesn't matter. She's terrible. I hate her fucking face. I hate her so much. She's just the worst. Can't communicate. She's just the worst. Like, you ask her a question and she just looks at you with these dead eyes. Like, she doesn't quite... like, it's not quite... Like, you can't...
It's funny how you can tell comprehension by people's eyes.
They are the windows to the soul.
Like, they just stare at you just dead. Like it did not compute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At least with a tilted head, it's more comical. Like,
It's
what?
more comical, but it's dipping into the reptilian brain where you take your predominant ear so you have a better way of listening.
And then you lick your eyeball.
No. Wait, no,
Very important.
you're still licking your eyeball? You don't have the second set of lids?
I do. But sometimes you gotta...
Sometimes you
Gotta
gotta
get
go
the-
to your reptilian brain and
Yeah.
just really...
Just really get in
Embrace
there.
it.
Gotta clean those, orbs
Yeah.
really well.
Also the second lenses, too. They have to be clean. They're not gonna
Gotta
clean
get
themselves.
underneath, like it's
Yeah.
especially in between the lens. Like
the-
You
where
guys
the
have
crust
water...
is?
No, really. You guys have water picks, right? That does the job. You don't have to get your tongue dirty.
I don't have a water pick.
What?
I know.
I like using my tongue.
Oh,
Sarah, you are just...
oh, you heathen!
Oh, Sarah.
Oh,
Anyway,
Moving on.
this will come up at our next meeting of the reptilians.
I think though I have been in your shoes,
Conversations
Phil.
out of context. Sorry. Go ahead.
I think I have been in your shoes, Phil. Though, like, growing up when you're young and spry and don't know like how to talk to other people yet, like, your aunts and uncles would be like, oh, Sera, what are you doing this summer? Or what have you, like, what's been going on in your life? Or how old are you? Or blah, blah, like all the dumb, stupid questions adults ask you. Like, what do you want to be when you grow up? Oh, where are you going to college? What are you studying? And all this, bullshit.
Hi, mate.
A lot of those times they aren't expecting.
You're too young to invest. Sorry.
A lot of times they aren't expecting you to, like, reciprocate that.
Yeah.
Especially since the dynamic there is, there's.
I want to be a fireman. What do you want to be when you grow up?
But I feel like as you
money man,
as you age and you get into your boring life where you're doing the same shit that they were doing or are doing, like, then I think you start turning that back around. And I don't know if it's because you've learned, like, the behavior from them, and so you're reciprocating in that way, or if you, like, are just genuinely interested because you're that kind of boring person who needs to ask other people what the fuck they're doing with their lives.
Yeah, well, that's
or
why
it's both.
I think for me it's like my brain doesn't recognize conversations are organic, and I explained this to one of we were at a birthday party and I was invited, and it was just me and the kiddos, and I'm making small talk, and I said, oh yeah, you just teach the kids that we're all just non-player controlled people, and then you just say a script and then they say the script back, like it's like a meme. Like before memes existed, it'll just be like Anchorman, and we just make, remember quotes from Anchorman.
We were talking about the weather.
Yeah, and they were like, what? And I was like, you guys also don't wear socks in the shower? Like that type of feeling, like, wait a minute, I'm messed up here? So I think that the idea of when I ask people what they're doing is because I want to know what it is. So I used to ask a coworker who just started Brazilian Jiu Jitsu, and he came out of like the like an operator level, and then he went to like a technician level kind of. But he was a young kid, and he was just really nice all around, type of person. He reminded me of like a farm boy person who goes to the city sort of like look.
Golly.
Yeah, right.
For swords.
And he wasn't like a total dick to anybody. He was just a nice guy. And he's like, yeah, I'm just doing this because I thought it was fun. And then I get punched in the face and it's not as fun, but I guess I'm just learning. And I'm like, the guy was really big. He's like 6'4" and something. And he looked like heavy. And I was like, so I kept on asking him every time I would see him like once a week when I would stop by in a station or whatever. And not because I'm just trying to make small talk or for him to ask me what my jiu-jitsu experience is, which is absolutely zero. But it's because eventually when I left the company, it's like, the reason why I kept on, basically bothering you about this is because I'm living vicariously through your awesome adventures, because you would explain how he either did well or he completely failed. He was an entertaining person to talk with. And so my brain is like, I'll then ask questions that are like that. Like that's what I figured I would want to talk about because that's fun. The idea though that never crossed my mind was like someone's like, hey, how was your weekend? It's like, well, I'm just gonna paint the deck, I guess, or stain it. Like, okay. I don't know why you're asking. Right.
Can you go into excruciating detail about what you did to that? I only rent, so I dream of the day where I can actually stain my own deck.
Well, first you're gonna argue a lot about what the color should be. And then once you figure it out, you're done arguing with yourself. Then you start asking your significant other, what do you think it should be? No, I think the problem I have is...
choice.
Yeah, illusion of choice.
Yeah.
I think that's my thought was like, I'll ask questions of things that I'm interested in, and then that's kind of where it goes. But it never occurred to me that people, like, they kind of wait a beat, like, because they're expecting a normal person reaction, which would be like, what are you doing this summer? And it never comes because I just honestly don't care. And then they just go ahead and start saying, well, for me, I'm doing this. And I'm like, okay, that's cool. Like, that is interesting, I guess.
They just want to talk to you, Phil. I don't think it has anything to do with the wanting to be asked that question back.
No, I don't think it's the wanting to talk to Phil. Full offense.
No, not taken at all.
But it's because they've had that conversation multiple times. And they're honing that down because they know that someone who is important, again, full offense, Phil.
All taken.
Is that they want to like craft the best story they can for when it is important, and they want to convey that to someone
Could be
of a higher importance.
That sounds like something a liar would say.
Another one too is that they're just
I'm off the top of the head.
Like, or a narcissist. Jesus.
Good liars don't need to practice stuff. You just fly by the seat of your pants. It's great.
I think we're all a little narcissistic, but the one that says, "Hey, well, I'm going to Paris this summer. I'm literally looking forward to it. It's going to be 3 weeks long. I'm taking a long vacation, and this is what I'm going to do." And I'm like, oh, I feel like it's just kind of not bragging, but like something they're so excited about, they're willing to share to other people. But to me, it's like, oh, that's cool. Like, I'll talk about it, I guess, but I'm not really like...
What did you think of the debate between Macron and Le Pen?
I thought...
Oh, your eyes are getting glazy. I'm sorry.
Right, like, these are not my topics I'd like to talk about, but I can talk about that. Like, oh, so where are you going? What cities? What are you looking forward to? Why'd you choose Paris? You know, like, those things.
Are you going to go to the Louvre with a pyramid that has 666 panes of glass in there because it was made by the Illuminati?
Did you like the Dan Brown novel? It's really good. It's about this person who goes to the Louvre and they drive a smart car. I like smart car guys. Have you ever drove? Like, yeah, I could just like divert this terribly wrong, guys. And I my brain is like, okay, just ask polite questions and don't be weird. Like, just like that infinite loop.
I mean, I feel like
It's too late.
I feel like that is something that is in the back of your head, especially when you're talking to someone who's really excited about something that you just don't know anything about or really don't care about.
Yeah.
And depending on how close you are with this person, like you can be like, happy for them, like, and glad, but like you don't really share that. Like, for example, Micah here really loves Magic the Gathering. I don't care about it, but I am super like happy that he's happy. It makes him happy, but I don't know anything about it. Like, really all we can share is art, the art on the cards. So like that's it.
But this type of exchange isn't for a lack of trying. It's the refusal to try that I take the issue with.
Well,
I continue to talk about it.
I mean, he can continue to talk about it. I'm just not. It's
Micah is really
now when I'm like hardlining, never gonna happen.
Sure.
Sorry.
Let's someday get an Excel sheet of never gonna happen and how much Micah had won. So I'm just gonna say, like, we'll see.
But it's different. Like, so I feel like Micah and I are close enough where we can have these discussions, and I can tell him to his face, I don't care about your game that much, but I'm happy it makes you happy, and we can look at the art together. That's fine. But like to someone who's like your coworker or like slightly removed a little, like you gotta be fucking polite. You can't just say like, I don't care.
Yeah.
I mean, you can, but like
you just have to code it in a bunch of words.
There's worse. Or code it in a bunch of words.
Take their first, paragraph or two of their diatribe, and then find out what their weakness is.
Oh, good God.
And then pivot that into a question, a la what did you think about the Macron-Le Pen debate?
Uh-huh.
What do you think about the future of democracy in Paris, since they were so close to slipping into the, right fascism that seems to be gripping most of Western countries?
Honestly, that is...
I love this conversation.
Actually, though, like, this is a good way to, like, take that conversation that was going to be really stupid and boring and making them, like, make it interesting for you.
What is your thought on the letter Z?
Drag you back into my territory.
Yes. So we can... And then you can either walk away and go take your, like, I'm going to Paris for, the summer. Well, fuck you.
Well, did you really agree with the yellow vest? Do you feel that the minority diasporas all around Paris, but not in Paris actually because of their redlining, is justified? Or do you really think it was a lot of hubbub of nothing and they should just be grateful the fact that a European country took them in?
I really love...
Micah's just getting my goats. It's just like all the goats he's getting, and I can't engage because otherwise it's going to be a different podcast episode.
So, I really like French names. I think they're very, like, cool sounding.
It's great when you have 37 letters next to each other and only pronounce 4 of them.
Oh, shit. I just realized something. Is that what we do or what I do? It's like, oh, this conversation is boring to me, so I'm going to be narcissistic and change it into, I saw this movie about Yellow Vest, Micah. It's nothing to do with Macron and Le Pen, but, like, it was really funny. Okay, so there was, like, this car, right? And there's, like, 2 people in it, and they're, like, trying... Like,
I think that's just how conversations organically grow. Like, that's just... That's
you look for whatever little bit of nugget you can sieve out of the stream of consciousness that's being thrown at you, and you hold on to that. You try and turn that around as best you can. Make whatever you can out of that little nugget.
Actually interesting.
Interesting to the person. Yeah.
So
to the
user is going great for your... That's great. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Have you seen Black Swan?
Yeah. Oh,
Crap!
That's a movie.
They don't watch Aronofsky.
well, I like movies, but the problem I have with, and then just boom, just goes off into some weird tangent that no one else in the group is happy about because
but then they're going to do the same thing and they're going to turn that around and they're going to
And that's why it's verbal jiu-jitsu. Sometimes you get punched in the face and you fail, but there are other times where you can win that conversation. Or the real win.
Winning fucking conversation.
Yeah, if you can kill a conversation, you fucking won.
God. Well, wait, no, wait.
No!
Yes, absolutely. Wait. No, not in this type of situation. Not where you have friends, but like the coworker.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
The coworker or the random person on an airplane.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to say, what's your win condition, really?
Win condition is to get them to shut up, to find a conversation that you both can engage in well enough, which is ideal.
Yes.
Or you're stuck there really trying to secretly put in your one pod.
Yeah, whenever my boss starts talking about basketball and I just don't.
Well, you see, the real genius of the triangle offense was an exploitation of where often, due to double teams, many players who have a good...
But did you guys hear that thing about the Timberwolves, like the owner?
I just tuned out. I'm glazed over.
He's a big proponent of the bird calling. Apparently he has a big stake in it, so a lot of people protested.
Well, yeah, because A-Rod was really jealous that Randy Johnson actually killed a pigeon while pitching, and he never was able to do that as a batter.
Do you guys know that pigeons were raised to be eaten? That's weird.
Yeah, you never heard of squawk?
Well.
Yes, you have.
I have. You did mention this to me before. I'm recalling this from a year ago when you mentioned
well, where? But also, we talked about a year ago, you understand that Tesla actually isn't going anywhere, and the fact that
you
they
do
sit
realize
down...
that...
Yeah, because Tesla really loves pigeons.
I fucking hate you all both. Let's go back to the pigeons. The pigeons were interesting.
No, not
See,
Tesla,
but you can't do that in a work
company.
setting.
Yeah,
It's true. That's where you just sort of... if you can politely get away with it... No, if you can politely get away with it, take out your phone and let the other two continue talking. Or...
If you excuse me,
you're just excuse me, I have to go to the
bathroom.
bathroom.
To take a shit.
I definitely have to.
And as I've talked with all of you to a great extent, you know how much I hate shitting at work. So now...
you know how much
I'm going to go shit at work.
Well, okay, if someone said that to me... and
also, the triangle offense sucks.
Someone said, look, I got to stop this conversation. I really got to desperately take a shit, and just stood up and left. And after that person was out of earshot, I would be like, I had to really take a shit. That's all I would say.
And the other person in that conversation was like, fuck, that worked?
Yeah. Yeah,
I've been turtling for an hour.
Why didn't you take me with you?
No one.
We're supposed to go to the bathroom together, Steven!
No, not when you take shits.
Even when we take shits.
No.
You don't know what we do on Thursday nights. That's our cleanup.
Sleeping in one toilet together is going to be just fantastic.
2 men, 1 toilet.
You know of upper deckers. Have you heard of back-to-backs?
Oh,
Back-to-backs, yeah. That's the way to save time and...
water.
Yes, potable water.
Granted, the chance of clogging, because, God, we both eat way too much meat.
It's really the potatoes that do it.
You just need to pull out your poop knife. I don't know what you mean. Sorry, that was a Reddit.
So I have that built in. I have a bidet in there that I installed myself.
I did that.
But what I did was I took the nozzle and I put it next to 2 hydraulic pincers.
It doesn't work as much as you think it would, but yes, continue.
But it's soft with a little bit like 2 heads of a spatula.
God.
And just whenever I flush, you stay on the toilet, the bidet will trigger. It's the cleanest wipe I've ever had.
Okay, first of all,
horrified.
I have a bidet story because I did tell you guys that I installed one.
Yes.
And it may or may
how's
not
your
be
water from?
Up to code, but it's a nice American-made thing, or actually I think it's Japanese brand, whatever. So what happened was I was sitting on it, and then one of the children, the older one, recognized what buttons do what, just based off the fact it's all pictographs. And then certainly pressed them when I wasn't paying attention because I was on my phone. The door's always open because that's the cat's bathroom. I share a bathroom with the cat. And
I think the cat will understand if you're taking a shit.
well, okay, 2 things. The cat is super afraid of that machine. So I didn't realize this, but the cat is kind of like a jackass and would just jump on things it shouldn't jump on. So she would have her poop paws and she'll be on the top of the sink. It's like, ugh.
She's not doing that to be a jackass. She's just doing that because
She can and she knows it.
Yeah, I mean, that's
not her being a jackass.
Isn't
It's
that,
her being a cat.
isn't that the definition of
No,
it?
cats are assholes.
No.
Not jackasses.
They're okay.
no,
fair
they're
enough,
not.
fair
Cats
enough.
are great. Cats are like
They're
They're
lovable
assholes.
assholes.
they're adorable and they love you. Well,
they're still
unless
assholes.
they hate you.
I
But
don't know if they. I don't know if they love. I mean, yeah,
Okay,
some
true,
cats
true. We
love
can't
some
really-
people,
we
but
can't
I don't
really-
know if
Yes,
my cat
because
loves me.
ascribe-
You are
human-
owned by that cat if
Yeah.
that cat loves you.
That's true, and I am not owned by that cat. Oh, we share a bathroom together, and I do clean. Okay, shit, she does own me. Anyway, so she
The
would
poop
jump
scooters.
on the lid, and the way that this machine works is that it would recognize pressure, and it would start doing all its things, like prep everything to make sure it's all clean and stuff, and the cat would freak the fuck out and like bolt out of the room, and I'm like, that's kind of funny. Because that's not good, actually, because now the cat doesn't want to be in the cat bathroom, and now it's going to start doing other things, and
yes,
I'm paranoid
she's
about
gonna,
it. So,
well, and that's
Yeah.
that's true. If she's too scared to use
Yeah.
her
bathroom.
actual bathroom, she's gonna go somewhere else.
Right, so...
But
and,
Phil, have
yeah.
you tried small talk with your cat? Have you asked your cat what they're going to do over the weekend?
So basically,
We made her comfortable.
I said, meow. And then she would meow back, and we would do this for a while, and then the editor would come in and say, what are you doing? And I'm like, well, I'm just meowing to the cat. And the editor would say something like,
Your response just went meow, 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 meow.
you should stop that.
You should stop. Don't talk to the cat because you know what the cat's gonna do? They're gonna meow back, and then they're gonna only meow forever. They're gonna meow whenever they want to say something to you.
Meow.
And then they're just going to be meowing cats all the time. Meow. Oh my god, it's so annoying.
And then I said,
And then they wake you up with meows.
why should I stop it? And then she said, because you don't know what you're saying to her. And then she would walk away. Okay, that's not true. I stole that joke from Tig Notaro, and I watched that joke with the editor, so obviously I just told that. Sorry, editor. Anyway.
Lies!
So I sat on the...
Phil,
Yeah?
own that shit.
Because... This,
And then you bring it up as a callback later.
see... That's what jiu-jitsu is. That's like advanced jiu-jitsu. All of this conversation, by the way,
Dialogue
is
jiu-jitsu.
just me just bullshitting because apparently this is what people do. They just take a thread of a story and they just continue it until it just is gone, and then they go home.
Yep.
That's what I thought happened.
That is what happens.
Kill it if you have to.
No, it's not true. Last Jedi. I'm sorry. Is it?
Not Last Jedi.
The,
Wait, no, it was Last Jedi.
oh, was it?
Yeah.
They're all the same.
Episode 8.
I don't
Okay.
even know.
Anyway, I thought the
It's like
idea
the only
was.
cool line that Ren had in the whole series.
Ooh, yeah.
And then Abrams had to come back and fuck it up. See, this is how conversations work.
This is how conversations
I
work.
laid the seed.
To fuck it up?
No. To jujitsu and get it off of whatever topic you were talking about, because I didn't care about it.
That's right.
And I brought it back to movies.
Which is
and Star
basically
Wars,
to fuck
which
it
I care
up.
about.
Basically to fuck it up.
Yeah, you fucked it up because I really like Star Wars and movies, and now Sarah's gonna have to jujitsu this, so good luck to
see?
that.
No, I'm good. Continue.
Alright, so basically, I don't really understand why if you said something like, hey, how is it going? Like, what is your weekend gonna be like? And then I'm like, oh, you know what? I'm just gonna paint the deck. And then they're supposed to say something like, oh, yeah, that is really boring, but I'm gonna change it to some other conversation.
No. It's,
like,
I'm going to paint the deck. How about you?
No.
If you engage with that slightly, then you can shut off your brain because they're going to talk for 5 minutes for their happiness and content and then walk away. Unless you want to win the conversation.
no, I don't want to.
If you don't care about winning the conversation, then that's what I have to do is go, and you?
No, I don't like this because I don't want to have my soul crushed with boring conversations that are not my boring conversations. Like, other people must endure my boring conversations, not the other way around.
Then, Phil, learn how to not get punched in the face, control the conversation, and twist the way you want.
Jiu-jitsu.
Or, maybe, the Force.
You know, the Force is not really made of midi-chlorians?
Midi-chlorians.
Midi-chlorians?
Midi-chlorians. Right?
Mini accordions.
Adorable!
Oh, how has nobody done...
God.
Alright, there needs to be a resurgence. There really needs to be a
Smallest
resurgence of spoof movies.
Yes.
But of movies from like 98 to 2010.
There's a
But
winter
done
project.
well.
There's a winter project for us.
Yes.
We'll
And
just
then you
recreate.
can have it where
We'll just get our iPhones and not iPhones out and like just make a movie. It'll be terrible.
yes, Watanabe, you understand that everything in the universe is connected. They're called mini accordions.
And you open the
Hold on, let me
briefcase.
show you. As I have,
Shove 'em.
hold on while I have this. And if you look,
It's just like a bracelet of mini accordions.
they are all different variations of Weird Al. And you just have Weird Al throughout his entire career.
Now listen to me play Wonderwall. Sorry. I think that my problem is I would really love Weird Al to be in a halftime show. He doesn't get his
He's getting his own biopic on Roku. What higher honor is there?
Who's playing him?
What's
Roku.
Roku?
I'm sorry. I thought Roku was a person. Like
No.
I was like, I don't know
It's
actors' first names.
No.
It's like a
It's
video.
even better.
Oh, God.
I don't understand.
It's Harry Potter.
Harry Potter.
Daniel Radcliffe is Weird Al in his biopic.
Oh my God. That
On
actually
Roku?
sounds incredibly right up his alley.
What is Roku? Is it?
It's cheap digital television.
Yep. It's like
It's nothing but replays and ads and some very brief original content because most of their ad revenue goes to buying up old syndicated shows and putting them on there.
Is it like free?
no, I doubt it. Is it? You just have to buy like.
Oh no,
the,
I'm thinking of Pluto. Yeah, you have to get the stick.
the Roku stick. Yeah.
It's
Okay.
like just a internet hub kind of thing.
My cousin has it. And she's the only person I know who has it. Like I don't know anyone else.
Yeah, I was thinking of Pluto TV. That's the one that goes by the skin of their teeth and is on like every
Never
new
even heard of
flat
Pluto.
screen.
I,
But Roku it's meant to be just a hub, so you can stick it into your HDMI and it connects to your Wi-Fi.
It's kind of like the Amazon Fire Stick, I think.
Oh,
where
sure.
you can watch Amazon
Yeah.
specific things.
So like they have some
Yeah.
content, and then they have some apparently original content, and then access to other things.
Yeah.
Jesus,
I
it's
guess.
going to be sad that Roku is going to actually perhaps survive more than Netflix would. Like,
Netflix is fine.
Probably.
Everyone's freaking out over it because the fact that other streaming services are paying more for their content. Like, the fact that all of the Marvel stuff is off there is because Disney now owns that right, and they're not renewing the contract with Netflix. So Netflix is losing that.
So this is prediction time, and about like
Also, Friends sucks. People should stop complaining that Netflix doesn't have Friends. Friends sucks.
I agree. Sorry, anyone who thinks otherwise, but it's a boring fucking sitcom. It's just super boring.
And it, without the laugh track?
It's sad.
No. Well, yes. Not as sad as Big Bang Theory. Big Bang
True,
Theory without the
that's-
laugh track is just a series of verbal assaults.
yeah, that's actually very brutal without
I
it.
guess somebody took her bitchy pill.
Yeah,
Silence.
right.
And for those, if you're dealing with like the if it was real,
Yeah, like that.
then you have this dude who everyone makes fun of for not having good luck with women and has to go into alcohol in order to actually get over his incapable ability to communicate with women.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Friends. I was like,
No.
shit, that's dark.
Big Bang.
No. Big Bang Theory is a whole bunch of neuroatypical people interacting, and because they like pop culture stuff, they're nerdy and it's funny. Look, they're excited about Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah, I
And then
really.
your parents watch it and they think it's hilarious because they think they can relate to you when you're like, I'm nothing like this. Not really.
I actually
Do you like your universe a bit stringy, Sarah?
no. I like mine loopy. That's actually a real conversation. I actually watched all of the Big Bang Theory, and then I felt like it was weird that the main character Jim Parsons, he told people like he wasn't playing an autistic person, right, or someone with Asperger's. Like this is just his interpretation of what
Yes,
he
and
believes
he
Sheldon was.
Stereotypically made that someone with autism.
Right. And then if you see the first episode, like the character that Jim Parsons plays is actually really normal. He's just kind of awkward.
No, he's just an asshole. That's all he is.
Yeah.
He just has no filter because he was a very smart kid and he's had this intelligence his entire life. Now he's an adult and running into some stalemate, so he's lashing out by being an asshole. And that didn't play well in his comedy, so then the writers just turned him into he's not an asshole, he just doesn't pick up on social cues because he's on the spectrum.
But he's not. But okay. So the thing about the show, which I find to be really, I don't know, like sad, but not the show itself, because people have different tastes. The sad part was that the writers did the pilot for that show with what is the guy's name? Like Galifianakis?
Is that Galifianakis?
No, but the person who played Leonard, I forgot his actor's name.
Galicki?
Gallic?
Johnny Galicki or something
Yeah,
like that?
and then the person who played Sheldon, like the real pilot was with them and then apparently 2 hardcore lady types. And because the people were pretty progressive, they wanted to have like these nerds interact with these people that were more hardcore, and then it's going to be a little bit like maybe a representation of nerds trying to deal with life and these women out there that are
I mean, hardcore is in like biker chicks? What hardcore?
This is just an article I read.
2 nerds across from just like 2 really high-end escorts?
Not
they really have to understand what the world is?
I would assume like just like normal quote unquote people,
right?
Like,
but just like
a businessman, like a salesperson, and like a dentist, like
yeah,
boring
just
people.
Which is very funny because Penny was both a dental hygienist and a pharmaceutical sales rep.
Well, that's it. Okay, so they played it in the pilot and it didn't go anywhere. It wasn't picked up for like almost a decade because it wasn't good enough or whatever. And then they're like, oh crap, well, how do we change this? Because I guess the lead actresses or whatever were more reasonable human beings that, I don't know, actually acted like their own, what a normal person would act. And they're like, well, those 2 people actually scored very low in the market test. So get them out. And then if you really want to make this happen, just add 2 more nerds. And then just make a hot chick across the room. And, across the room.
Wait. What do you mean by hot chick?
I don't know. Generic hot chick.
Hot chick, man. You know what a hot chick is. Just a hot chick.
Chicks, man. Like, that's... And then they press execute, and it was very, very successful. And if you watch the first season, Penny has, like, 0 personality. And then
I don't know how
the
that
writers
changes.
are trying to make them more, like, a human. But by that time, it's too late that the show writes itself.
Yeah, I still don't know how that was ever changed through her entire character arc. None of them changed. They are all the exact same characters they started as.
Right.
Just they had different experiences that did not change them at all, because that's how sitcoms work. That's why sitcoms are horrible.
Yeah, they're just the same fucking formula over and over again, which is why I hate Friends.
Mm-hmm.
I hate sitcoms. I hate them. Just give me a
Futurama was great.
different.
No. I'm not saying that in any juxtaposition. I want to fill my brain with a TV show that I enjoy. So Futurama is great.
I feel like cartoons can get away with a little more sitcom-y bullshit, though. I don't find real people doing that as entertaining. I would rather watch Simpsons or Futurama or South Park.
But only season 3 through
the-
12 of The Simpsons, right?
Yeah, that's...
You don't waste your time with any of that non-original writer bullshit.
I honestly...
I know Micah might be
tell you.
sarcastic, but he's actually right here. Like, sarcastic Micah is correct. You don't go past season...
I'm being more flippant about it because there is a...
I still don't watch them. Like, I still don't watch these things. Like, I won't binge watch them because it's the same fucking shit. It's
You should watch this
formulaic.
in
It's formulaic. I'm not a fan. And maybe I've watched like the first 4 episodes of that. I think
Oh, you should watch this in chat?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It was fine.
It's the D&D Futurama, basically.
Yeah.
Oh,
it was meh.
I was hoping for more Futurama and not that because
It's-
it felt not...
It's more character-driven, but when it's something that's just on and you're not really paying attention to it, it's a fine thing to have just on.
That's true.
Like any
That's
sitcom.
I feel like you guys give sitcoms...
I want a story arc.
Nah. All right.
No, like sitcoms have their time and they have like their impact on the zeitgeist, but they are not meant to live. Their humor is not meant to live. Their stories are not meant to live beyond the
Episode.
like. No, not that. Like taking the whole thing as a whole. So from beginning of Friends to end of Friends, only people that hit age like 22 when that was prime time give any shits about that now.
It's true.
Yeah.
Because you're just tapping into what they thought adulthood would be, and you're given these incredibly idyllic fictional versions
Yeah.
of, God, I don't know what I'm going to do. My best friend's a doctor, my other friend's a lawyer, I'm an architect teacher. Life is so hard.
Right.
And at home, you just got off of, doing a double at the hospital because you just got your RN. They're like, sure.
Actually, I felt this is what my brain is telling me, that these sitcoms are like popcorn moments. Like, they're not really meant to be taken seriously. I think the dangerous part of them, because I used to watch a lot of sitcoms. I don't watch anything anymore now, but other than YouTube while doing the dishes. Like, the part that I really felt nefarious about sitcoms is that you see a social group that transcends time. Like, there's no story arc because it's just like snapshot in times constantly over. Like, they're living in the moment like a dog's perspective. Like, it's just now. There's no need for a story arc because it's popcorn. And people like this because after a double shift, they don't have time with friends. This is my opinion. And so they like to see a group of friends, like a synthetic friendship, rather than actually realizing...
So it's that meme, like the Coca-Cola meme, where all the people are laughing next to each other, and they're all women. And there's just one dude with a Coke in his hand, like, laughing with them.
Yes, it's exactly that. It's a sad digital representation of a thing that they can't achieve, but it seems close enough. Like, it's as if you're eating food that was printed on a magazine, like, and thinking that it's nutritious. Like, it feels... in my brain, very damaging.
National Geographic isn't nutritious?
I was thinking about that episode.
Feed your brain, anyway.
Garfield and Friends, where he was stuck in a cabin, and like John and Odie and Garfield was in it, and he was so hungry because he's a fat cat, and then he would get the cookbook.
You just
he would just think, like, I love cake, and he just eat the pictures. That stuck with me.
That works.
Age 6. Stuck with this.
No,
and you know what isn't stuck in there? Anything by Dilbert? Something Adams?
Scott Adams.
Yeah, that asshole.
Yeah, he is an asshole.
Who had such a great cell phone.
What?
I'll share it after.
Okay.
Okay.
At this point, you know, even the Uzbek isn't listening.
Oh yeah, sorry. So jiu-jitsu conversations, that was our topic, right? So
we jiu-jitsu'd the fuck out of this topic.
Yes. And
we do.
I'm sorry.
What a train wreck.
Yes. Stay tuned for the next episode because you're not even listening to this one. And see you next Monday. Bye, Mom.
Thanks, Mom.
Thanks, Mom!
Worst.
Truck door!
Oh, that's a good callback.
What the hell was thanks, Mom?
No, Trogdor.
Burninator.
The burninating people.
Someday, someday, someday.
Oh, Homestar Runner.
I'm still recording this because...
The system is down. The system is down.
Okay, speaking of nostalgia.
Okay. Bye, Uzbek.